Max, well done this week. Awesome stuff with the dribbling combo. You've got your NBA t-shirt and your BBITC medal. Well done, mate. Keep it up. Awesome stuff, guys. See you next week.
Hey guys, and welcome to BBITC Interactive Session number 3, Advanced Dribbling. So today's session is really going to build on some of the things that we've looked at in Interactive Sessions 1 and Interactive Session 2. So before you come and do this, make sure you've checked them out, given them a watch and practiced your skills in those sessions. Now I've got a slight change of scenery today. It's really windy outside and you can't hear my voice on the videos, so I'm going to be demonstrating, I'm going to be showing you the drills from inside in my living room, and then when we go on to actually do the drills together, I'm going to move out and I'll show you how we're doing them outside on a concrete floor. And as per usual, make sure to send in any videos, any images of you completing today's session. Send them in to me at BBITC, we'll have a look and we could post them, we could show them on our stories or anywhere on our Instagram account. But without further ado, let's get on with our dribble warm-up. First thing we're going to do, as per usual, is our dribble warm-up. We're doing this because it gets our fingers really nice initiated and ready to do some dribbling. So first thing we're going to do is go round the body. So we're going 10 times round the head, 10 times round the waist, 10 times round the knees, and 10 times round the ankles. Let's go. Second thing we're doing, 10 right-handed pounds, 10 left-handed pounds, 10 crossovers in front, 10 ball slaps. We're going to repeat that 3 times. Third set, fingertip dribbles, getting really low, using our fingertips to bounce that ball. We're going to do 50. Warm-up drill 4, 1 minute of wall taps up against a wall. Let's go. Right guys, our final warm-up drill. 30 seconds of crossovers, and between each crossover, just tapping the wall, alternating hands. So guys, that's our dribble warm-up done. Let's crack on with our session. So the first set we're looking at today is a between the legs crossover. Now between the legs crossover is a really good move for changing direction. I can be going in this way, I can switch between the legs, and all of a sudden not only am I able to dribble this way, but my body is now orientated in this direction, and I've switched really quickly to now explode off in the opposite direction to where I was going before. And as well as being able to change direction quickly, by going between my legs, that ball has a lot of protection, as it's either sort of around my body or the backside of my body. It's going to be really hard for that defender to get in and nick the ball away. So I can change direction really quickly, explode away and protect that ball really well. So coaching point one is that I need my legs to be about shoulder width apart. That means that as I change direction, I've got plenty of space to put that ball between my legs. If they're too wide, it's going to be a really slow change of direction, but if they're too short, I'm going to struggle to get through and I could potentially lose that basketball. Coaching point number two is I want a little bit of a hop as we change direction. So as I go from dribbling in this direction, we do a little hop between the legs and we're ready to explode away in that direction. That little hop is really helping us to switch the position of our body, switch the orientation to a different direction to get away from our defender really quickly. Third coaching point, I need my head up. By having my head up, not only am I going to be able to survey and know what the defence is doing, but as I go in, I can change direction. I'm almost selling the fake that I'm going to go this way. So I've got my head up and I've quickly changed direction. The defender then has no idea. It's not as though I'm staring at the ball and he knows that I'm about to go that way because that's the way I'm looking. I'm feinting to go one way with my head up and quickly switching direction to lose my man. So our first between the legs drill is a between the legs progression. Similar to what we did in last week's session, we're starting off with 3 right-handed dribbles between the legs. Then you switch 3 left-handed dribbles between the legs. We're doing that for the first 15 seconds. Second 15 seconds, 2 dribbles between the legs. 2 dribbles between the legs. Third 15 seconds, 1 dribble between the legs. Same on the other side, 1 dribble between the legs. And for the last 15 seconds, we're just going continuous between the leg dribbles. So overall, we're working for 1 minute. Let's go. Second between the legs crossover drill is really simple. What we're going to do is you're going to find a wall that you're going to do a wall sit against, and for 1 minute we're just going to dribble in between the legs. Really nice and easy. It's really going to focus on our technique. It's really going to push us to do these between the leg dribbles properly. As I said, we're working for 1 minute. Let's do this. So our next drill is one that's going to be repeated with different variations throughout the session. I call it the four corners drill. So for this, we're going to need 4 markers and our basketball. Remember, I'm using cones as my markers, but you can use shoes, you can use jumpers, you can use anything you find around the house. It's something we're just going to need 4 markers to set out a square. You can make this 4 cone square as big as you want, depending on how much you want to challenge yourself, both dribbling wise and cardiovascular fitness wise. So to set up our 4 corners drill, literally all we're going to do is set out 4 cones in a square. We've got our square made out of cones. You can't quite see mine, it's just out of camera, but I've set out just a little small square that I'm going to be working in. So now that you can see my grid that I've set out, we need to get this rotation. So what I'm doing is I'm starting on this bottom left cone. I'm moving diagonally to this cone here, doing my dribbling move. I'm moving sideways to this cone here, doing my dribbling move. I'm going diagonally backwards to this cone, doing my dribble move, sideways to this cone, doing my dribble move, and I start again, going diagonally. So I'm creating a shape that goes diagonal across, diagonal across. So now that we have the setup of our 4 corners drill, let's get into what we're doing. So what we're doing to start off with is between the legs. So I'm starting here, driving diagonally, crossing over between the legs. Dribbling sideways to my second cone, between the legs. Backwards diagonally to my 3rd cone, between the legs. Across sideways to my 4th cone, between the legs again. And I'm starting again, going diagonal across, and repeating that for 1 minute in total. Let's get on with this. So our final drill is a bit of a challenge drill. What we're doing is a spider dribble. So if you've not heard of spider dribble, all I'm doing is 2 dribbles in front, then switching over 2 dribbles behind my legs. So it's going to look a little bit like this. So this spider dribble drill is really going to test us on our hand-eye coordination, and it's going to see how low we can keep that ball and if we can keep doing that sequence. We're going to work for 30 seconds, and if you can't do this one, don't worry, because it's just a bit of a challenge. Right guys, that's between the legs crosses done. Let's move on to our next set. So moving on to our second set of dribbles, in and out dribbles. Now an in and out dribble is a really good one for setting us up to do another dribble move. So I'm going with that ball, I'm manipulating it out and in at the same time. So I go in and then out. I go in and then out. So by doing this, I've set myself up now. I've almost faked my defender as though I'm going that way by going in, going back out, I've brought it out here, and I'm now loaded. I can explode that direction, I can explode that direction, I can cross the ball back over. I'm ready to add it to another dribble move and to beat my defender. So coaching point 1 is that I need to be careful that I'm not carrying that ball. By going in and out, I'm not putting upward pressure on the ball, I'm just manipulating it sideways and then sideways again. So I'm not at any point bringing that ball up and over, I'm just pushing it down in one direction, then down in the other direction. I'm just manipulating that ball with my hand and not carrying it. Second coaching point is I need to know what my next move is. So by doing this in and out dribble, I'm now set in this position here. I've got loads of tension in this arm. This arm is ready for the next dribble move. It's either ready for me to push that ball and explode forwards, it's ready for me to push that ball across and change direction, or it's ready for me to go from an in and out dribble into some sort of crossover routine. So I really want to know what I'm doing next. I want to know, right, I'm using this in and out dribble, I'm going to move my defender that way before I go that way, or I'm going to go into a crossover, but I need to be ready in my head, I need to be thinking, what is my next move? Where am I anticipating the defender to do? Where do I want to go next? So our first in and out dribble drill is going to be another progression drill. What we're going to do is we're going to start for the first 15 seconds, we go in and out, crossover, in and out, crossover, in and out, crossover, in and out, crossover. Second 15 seconds on our right hand, in and out, double crossover, in and out, double crossover, in and out, double crossover. Third 15 seconds on our left hand, exactly the same thing, in and out, double crossover, in and out, double crossover. And then for the final 15 seconds, we're going in and out, 3 crossovers. So I go in and out, 1, 2, 3, in and out, 1, 2, 3, in and out, 1, 2, 3. So we're doing those 4 15-second sections for 1 minute in total. Let's go. So for this drill, you're going to need your basketball, tennis ball and partner. All I'm going to do as I'm working is I'm going to be doing in and out dribbles with one hand and doing a tennis ball catch with my partner with the other hand. We're going 30 seconds right hand, switching it over, 30 seconds left hand. But if you don't have a partner, you can do the exact same thing, throwing that ball and catching it off a wall. So overall we're going for 1 minute in 2 30-second sections. Let's go. So for our final drill, we're going back to the 4 corners drill, but this time we're doing it with an in and out and then a crossover. So I'm starting in my bottom corner, going diagonally, in and out, crossover. Cross to the side, in and out, crossover. Back to the corner, in and and out crossover, across to this corner, in and out crossover. We're completing that and we're working for 1 minute straight. Let's go. That's in and out dribbles done. Let's move on to V dribbles. So our third set today is going to be a V dribble. Now a V dribble is just using one hand, going across and back across. Almost like I'm drawing a V in the air with the ball. Now this is a crossover variant and it's a really nice little move to mix in with some crossovers. So I'm doing my crossovers, I go into a V dribble as I'm moving the ball. It's a really nice little size up move. It's as though I'm sort of preparing, I'm thinking what am I going to do, how can I beat this player, and I'm mixing it in as another little dribble move to help me beat my defender. Now I really like to use this move when I'm playing one-on-one because it's a nice little combo move as I'm doing my size up dribbles, and it's making that player think, oh god, what is this guy about to do with the ball, where's he about to go, and it's making them really think about what I'm about to do. So coaching point one is I need to be low. I don't want that V dribble coming up above my waist. I want to keep that V dribble nice and low. And to do that, I need to be in that seated position. I need to get nice and low. It means I keep that V dribble really close to the ground and it's going to be really hard to steal. Second coaching point is I want to have my head up. I'm not going to fool anyone doing my V dribble if I'm down here but I'm staring down at the ball. I want to have my head up. It means that the defender's going to be thinking, what's he going to do? It means that I'm looking and I'm trying to pick the best option for me to go into next. So first V dribble drill we're going to do is really easy. All we're going to do is continuous on our right hand for 20 seconds, switch over, continuous on our left hand 20 seconds. So first 20 like this, second 20 like this. Let's go. Our second V dribble drill is a slight variation on a V dribble. We're going to do a sideways back and forth dribble. So we're dribbling that ball backwards, then forwards. Like that. We're going to do 20 seconds right hand, 20 seconds left hand for a total of 40 seconds. Let's go. So for our final V dribble drill, we're going back to four corners. So what we're going to do, starting in this bottom corner, we're going to go diagonally, do a V dribble into a crossover. To the side, V dribble into a crossover. Back to this corner, V dribble into a crossover. And again, in here, V dribble into a crossover. We're going to go continuously for 1 minute. So that's all of today's skills done. Let's now move on to a combo drill. So now we're moving on to our final set, dribbling combinations. For this set, we're taking into account everything we've looked at in dribble sessions 1, 2 and 3, and we're going to put them all into a drill together now. So what we're going to do for our first combo drill is we're going to set out our little square again. What we're going to do, every time we hit a corner this time, you're going to do a little combination of things we've learned. So as I come to this corner, I might do between the legs and then a double crossover. I come to this corner, I might do an in and out V dribble into a crossover. I'm just mixing up what I do. I'm practicing putting different dribble moves together, different types of crossover, different types of V dribbles, different types of moves that are helping me change direction and really mixing up what I put into my game. So we're going to work on our grid for 1 minute. After the 1 minute, we'll take a break, I'll do a little bit of talking, we'll move in, we're going to repeat it, we're going to go again for another minute. So we're going to do 2 separate 1 minutes with a little bit of a gap in between for a bit of recovery. Right, good job, that's our first set done. So while you're taking a minute, you're recovering, we're going to chat a bit about what this drill is really helping us to do. So now that we've looked at each separate move in isolation, we're trying to put them together so that we can use them in a game. Obviously, if I'm playing against a player in a game scenario, I'm not going to want to just do V dribbles, or I'm not just going to want to do crossovers in front. I want to be able to mix things up. I want to be able to put different plays in different positions, so that people are always guessing what I'm going to do. It's going to give me a real variety in my arsenal of dribble moves to be able to take on a player, to be able to beat them, to be able to either take a shot myself or create a shot for a teammate. So by beating a player, it doesn't always mean that I'm creating a shot for myself. Let's say that I beat my man, I'm driving into the key, I draw in 2 help defenders. This means that I can jump stop, I'm going to have options on to kick out to my teammates, they're going to have open jump shots. So by me being a really good dribbler, being able to beat my man and get into the key, it's not just going to create scoring opportunities for myself, but it's going to create scoring opportunities for all of my teammates as well. Right, that's enough talking. Let's get on with set number 2. So for our final set of the day, we're going to do a 5-cone weave, really similar to what we did at the end of last week's session. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set out 5 cones in a line, and every time I come up to a cone, I'm going to do a different type of dribble move to get past it. So when I come up to the first cone, I might do a crossover. The second cone, I might do an in and out between the legs. Third cone, fourth cone, fifth cone, I'm going to keep mixing it up, etc, etc. So guys, this is how I'm setting up my 5-cone weave. We're going to work continuously for 1 minute, so you're going to do as many reps of your little circuit as you can in 1 minute. We'll take a break, we'll have another little chat while you catch your breath, do a bit of recovery, and we'll go again for another 1 minute. But let's go, first minute, let's go. So while you're catching your breath from before we go into our second set, let's have a little bit of a chat about where we're going next with these sessions, what we're going to be doing in the coming weeks. So with this session, that more or less concludes our dribbling. We're still going to be doing some dribbling in future sessions, but we'll be looking at slightly more advanced drills, slightly more game realistic drills, as opposed to the separate skills in isolation like we have done for the first 3. So over the coming weeks, we're going to look at some different agility drills, we're going to look at some warm-up drills, we're going to look at some footwork drills. We're going to start looking at all different aspects of our basketball fundamentals. We might do a little bit of shooting for those of you that have a hoop, and for those of you that don't have a hoop, we'll do some form shooting, some shooting practices that you can do that don't even require you to have a basket. It's going to be really, really fun, really, really exciting, and I really look forward to taking you through these things we're going on to do. As well as these things, we're also going to be doing different activities such as coaches playing games of horse. We're going to introduce maybe some interviews with some players for you to get some more knowledge, and we're really looking to take this page further. But that's enough talking on my part. Let's go on, let's do our second set of the 5-cone weave. Awesome job with today's session, guys. Let's now head over to Coach Finn for this week's challenge.
Hey guys, Coach Finn here, and today I have a new challenge for you. Today the challenge is the Spider Dribble. So, the idea is to get the longest time to get higher up the leaderboard. This is my attempt. Hey guys, Coach Finn here, and today I have just completed my Spider Dribble. My attempt was 15 seconds. Do you think you can beat me? Send in your videos. I want to see those attempts.
So that's session 3 done. Hopefully, if you've completed session 1, session 2 and session 3, you feel that your ball handling is really starting to improve. We know not only what moves to now use, but when to use them in a game and how to really push them into your playing. Make sure you take on this week's challenge, the Spider Dribble challenge. I know I definitely want to give it a go, and I definitely want to try beat Coach Finn. So send in all of your video attempts to us and let us have a look, see if you can be this week's winner. So that concludes this week's session, and hopefully we'll see you again next week for session 4.